T. Clark here. In this video is going to go over the Unit 4 FRQs. So in this method that we're going to write called count O's, we're going to take the string parameter stir and return the number of letter O's or capital O's or lowercase O's. Do I need an apostrophe here? I don't even know. In stir. So stir is my the string I want to go through. I want to loop through string and count both upper and lowercase O's. Okay, so here's an example. So if I say count O's, oh no, you fail, it should return 3 because there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so hello world, there's 2. O has 10 of them. If I actually counted them out, there's 10. And what has none because there's no O's. Okay, so that's my first thing I do is I write this out, type it out, and here we go. So public static int count O's string stir. So whenever I have to return something, when it's an int or a string or a double or something, and not a Boolean. Boolean you could do, but it's better for ints and strings. I want to set up my result variable. So I have int result and it equals 0. So because I start counting at 0. So I don't want to say count because that's part of my method name. So you could say it, but you never want to have the method name be the same as a variable name. That's bad computer science stuff. That's not good. You could say count, but I like having just result because very few times do I have result as my method name. So I just use result because I can set up my result. And then at the end, I want to make sure I must return that result. So a lot of times people forget to either set it up, matching the return type. So the return type is int right there in the method header. It has to be int result. It could be, if it's string up here, it'd be string result. But now it's int result and I initialize it to whatever it is. In this case, since I'm counting, I start counting at 0. So it starts out at 0. And then I return result at the very end. There's nothing after that return. So if I have a whole page that I'm doing this, writing it on paper, I would write this at the top. Well, obviously this is at the top. This would be the next thing. And at the very bottom, I put this, return result. Because I don't want to forget it in the middle of a test. I have everything else all perfect. Then I forget return result. So it's 3 out of 4. You lose a whole point. And each point is each point is worth a lot. So it's worth more than a multiple choice question. Yeah, every point's worth more than a multiple choice question on the thing. So basically I'm going to loop over my string. So how do we loop over the string? So we do the same loop as usual. So for int I equals 0, I less than stir.length. If I can type spell, parentheses, you have to have parentheses with stir.length, and then we're going by 1, so it's I plus plus. So my normal looping for loop. And I say I want to get the current letter. So to get the current letter, I say, okay, what's the current letter? I say string let equals stir dot substring I comma I plus 1, just like the notes say. So to get the current letter, it's I comma I plus 1. So I want one letter. If I wanted 2 letters, I could say I comma I plus 2, but then I'd probably have to subtract up here. But for now, I'm just doing 1 letter at a time. So I do I comma I plus 1. So that's my letter. And I want to see, what am I doing again? I'm counting if it's an O or an O. So if let, and let is a string, so I have to do dot equals capital O or let dot equals, oh my goodness. Oh, that's the problem. My hand was on the wrong row. So it's an uppercase or lowercase o. Then I'm going to increment my result. Result plus equals 1, or just plus plus. Plus plus would be better. And that's it. And then I could put this a little bit higher, and I can show everything all at once. So there is my count O's. I have my result set up. I don't need the class main. So the class main is just there. I should probably delete that when I'm doing stuff, but that's just there from Replit starting this code. So I have my count O's as my first line that I write on the paper. Set up my result, loop through the string like normal, get the current letter, see if it equals O or it equals lowercase o, and then result plus plus. You could have put this in here. So you could put the whole string, substring in here, or you could have done the substring in there, but that gets a little bit long. It gets too long on the paper, then you'd have to like return maybe So you could have done like that. Maybe that looks okay on a paper if you're writing it out. But I have big handwriting, so this would take way too much space on my paper. So I would use the variable stringlet. You could have done. I think there's an equals ignore case maybe. So you could have done equals ignore case, and I can look it up right now. Java equals ignore case. Yeah, so that it does exist, equals ignore case. But on the exam, on the real exam, you only have equals on the FRQ, or wherever it is, reference sheet. I don't have it there. So this would be the official answer using 1 or the lowercase 1. Okay, so that's count O's. What's the next question? I don't even remember. Is it similar or is it completely different? Oh, it looks like this one's completely different. Okay, so I'll make a new video on that and have a good day.